Hey everyone, I'm gonna give a couple minutes so that more people get to join, and then we'll get started with our webinar for the month. All right, guys, I'm gonna get started with introducing myself and the group that we have here, and then we'll slowly start the webinar on appointment fields while we wait for everyone else to join the session. I'm Julia. I'm the product lead for Opendock. We have here in the meeting today Tyler Rubottom, which is our Opendock. He's our Opendock expert. He's going to be handling the chat and helping answering you guys' questions on the chat. And we have Mar as well from the marketing team. So couple of housekeeping rules. We're recording this session so that you guys will have and will receive this recording via email. And on our webinar page, you also have access to all the previously recorded webinars as well as this one that's going to be available as soon as the session ends. Use the chat for questions. You guys are not going to be able to speak out loud or ask your questions out loud or comments, but feel free to use the chat and the Q&A session to bring comments, questions, introduce things that you guys want for me to touch on or talk about. And at the end, we will go through additional help and resources and how and where you guys are going to find everything that you guys seen on the webinar today. Now getting started with the very basic. What are actually appointment fields? They're basically a set of fields that each facility can customize for every appointment. So we're thinking about appointment creation and we're thinking about defining what is it that's needed or what is all the information that's needed to be able to create an appointment and for each facility to be able to say, hey, okay, I have enough on this appointment to be able to approve it. I have enough on this appointment to be able to then fulfill it when it's, the day of the appointment or when the driver arrives. Is there more additional information that I want to collect? And we're going to go through all the details and kind of how you guys can set this up. But basically, appointment fields are really the collection of fields or a collection of information that you guys want to keep on the appointment. It starts on appointment creation, but then you can add fields that you want to manage internally, for example, and that you don't want to have, available or visible on the scheduling side, but you do want to track them internally. And it's all the information that you're going to be collecting within the appointment as well. The goal with appointment fields is to really help, with visibility and improving day-to-day operations, reducing errors, providing visibility of everything that's happening on the appointment and all the information that you guys need to be able to make decisions on top of that. And of course, build reports on top of it as well. They're very powerful because they're very flexible and customizable. So there's not a lot of limitations in terms of what you guys can create in terms of information that you guys want to collect using appointment fields. Core benefits that we have for appointment fields are control over the data collection. You guys can customize them, delete them, rearrange them, ensuring that nothing important gets missed. So every piece of data that's really important to make decisions or for you guys to have when you're building reports, understanding how your operation is, going, all of those, you can keep them safeguarded within the appointment. So that's also a good thing about appointment fields. We never delete any type of information on the appointment. You guys always have access to all the historical data on the appointment based on what you create as a set of fields for custom fields. The goal is always to reduce miscommunication as well. So We timestamp what needs to be timestamped and make sure that all the history and all the changes are being tracked as well. And then reporting accuracy, of course. So you can pull all the data from the appointments and make sure that you have all the information that you needed on them. Example of the most common appointment fields that we see our customers using: BOL or any type of document uploads, reference numbers. So I want to stop on this one because this one is very important. We have one specific field that is what we call a reference number that we allow facilities to label however they want. So you can name it a PO number, you can name it a load number, a shipment number, whatever it is that you want to be the true identifier of the appointment for you guys, and you can use that for it. So I usually recommend, and I highly recommend actually, setting up the reference number field, which is something apart from the custom fields, as on the setting using the reference number setting. I'm going to show you guys how that works, but I recommend using that because that's what we call a first class field. Easier for you guys to build reports on, easier to do searches on top of, and it allows for more capabilities, and it's a safer information that we keep stored on the database. Whereas appointment fields, or custom fields as we call them, it's really a collection of additional information that you want to find. So you guys will see, for example, that for reference numbers, there's a lot more capabilities on top of building reports, and a lot of more capabilities on top of, even searches. And for appointment fields, not so much. So I usually recommend the information that is the most important one on the appointment for you guys, try and turn that the reference number field. And everything else you translate into the custom fields that you guys will be building. Other examples: temperature requirements, special handling instructions, internal form uploads. You're always able to customize them, so you can make them required or optional, and you can control visibility. I want this field to be visible for carriers and required. I want this field to be hidden by carriers and only used internally. All of those things are things that you guys can control on the appointment information that you're collecting. Now we're going to take a look at them in action. So I'm going to jump into my demo account. And there you go. The section that we're looking for is we go to warehouses, fields, and forms. So as you guys probably already know, you can set up these fields on the warehouse level. So each warehouse under the same org can have a different set of fields that they might use for appointment creation. It all starts with all appointments. So I have it here on my account, for example, a pallet count, a BOL, and weight. These are the fields that I want for all of, the appointments to have, and upon appointment creation. And then I can see here on the list if they're required or not, and to whom. So not required for warehouse. So whenever there's a warehouse user internally creating the appointment, they don't necessarily have to fill out this information. However, one of the fields is actually required by carriers. So whoever is scheduling the appointment on the scheduling portal is required to fill out this information specifically. And then there are the field types. So we have a whole selection of field types that you guys can select from. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a field in here as an example. You can label them however you guys want. You can add a description. You can put in an example value, and then you select the field type. And we have text, single line, multiple lines, date, true or false, single document, multi-document upload, number, email, phone. You can create a drop-down, multi-select or single select, a combo box, and a timestamp. Those are all the types of fields that you guys can create, and the types of fields are really going to determine how they're going to be seen when it needs to be filled out. Now, going back to my appointment creation fields, this is relatively new, but we added appointments per load type or fields per load type, meaning that you guys can now determine a different set of fields depending on the load type or group of load types. I have a couple of examples here. Let's say, for example, that I have, a load type that's called dry ice. It's refrigerated. All my other load types are not. So for this one specific load type, what I'm requesting is temperature. If I go back, For load type, I also have one specific set of fields that are required for just my inbound load types. So I have one, two, three, four inbound load types. And then for those load types, and only for those, I'm requesting this specific information. You guys can create a form with multiple fields per load type or per group of load types, or just a form with a single field. Another and the third example that I have here is for my load type that is warm cookies. I have one specific field that only is requested for this specific load type. Is it preheated? Yes or no? So what does this look like? If we click on Preview Scheduling Portal, depending on, and then this is the carrier experience. It's always good when you're making changes to load types or making changes to the appointment fields. Go in here and try and see for yourselves what is the experience for the carriers or brokers when they're scheduling the appointments against your facility. This helps a lot with understanding if are we making it easier, harder for them to select the right information or for them to create the appointment correctly. So I am going to select, for example, warm cookies because as I showed you guys, there's a specific field that is requested for this one, but not for the other load types. So if I go in warm cookies, I have the doctor selection, select the time and date, and then this is the collection of fields that are requested in here. Vendor, preheated. This is the field that it's only requested for warm cookies for this specific load type and not for the others. If I go back and select a different load type, for example, cute lights, date and time, I'm not going to see this field available. So I only see the set of fields that I determine belongs to this load type or to my general load types or all my load types list. Hopefully this allows for you guys to, on one hand, simplify a little bit the amount of information that on the scheduling portal users have to fill out when they're creating appointments, and also direct some specific fields that are only, for this or that specific load type. Another example is if you have, a higher security load type or a higher value load type, and you want to make sure that a specific document is being submitted, you can have this as a field per load type, only for this specific load type. Make it required, not make it required, always up to you guys, but you can determine that. But that's what helps kind of like shape what is all the information that I'm going to be filling out as I'm creating an appointment for that specific load type. We talked about, creating these fields. In here, when I'm creating a field or fields per load type, the flow is very similar to the flow that you guys are very familiar with on the all appointments. But what I'm going to do is just create a new form. I have to name the form, so I'm going to do a outbound, for example. And then I select the load types that I want, and it can be one or multiple. I don't have outbound load types, unfortunately, but I'm just going to pick one in here. Say, for example, cute LED lights, and then I'm going to do LED lights in here. I can select one or multiples, like I said. You can deselect them. You can always change these forms, create the form. Once the form is created, I'm going to click on it, and I am going to start shaping or creating this form. Visible to all, carrier only or warehouse only. This determines who's going to be able to see this field when they're creating the appointment. Visible to all means that whoever's scheduling the appointment on the scheduling site here and whoever's creating the appointment internally as a warehouse user, both of them will see and be requested to fill out this information. Carrier only. Only on a scheduling portal, they'll be requested to fill out this information. If I'm creating this appointment internally, I don't need to have this information added. Warehouse only. This is where you guys are going to put in your internal fields. Things that you don't want for the driver or for the carriers to fill out or see, but that you want to control internally. Once you pick or you select the visibility, what you're going to do next, so I'm going to do one that's carrier only, for example, is you're going to select a field from the pre-existing ones. You can reutilize fields from across multiple forms, or you can create a brand new field, for example. Once you create a brand new field, same experience as you guys had before. So you determine the label of the field type, and once you save it, you have this field already available and ready to be used when scheduling the appointment internally or on the carrier side. All this information that's being filled out, it's obviously translated into what I'm going to be seeing here inside the appointment. So it all goes under booking details. So what I have here is I have PO number as my reference number, so I don't have to add this as a field or a custom field. And then here I have the BOL, pallet count, special handling instructions, which is a specific field for this specific load type. I can always edit out this information and or add more information to it as well. And then separately, and then oh, so these are the fields for all the load types, and then separately I have the fields there for this specific load type. And this is where I'm going to see them and edit them out. So they're in a separate section. All right. Last thing that I want to show you guys that relates to or helps with not just creating these appointments, but kind of like managing the appointment through the fields that you guys are collecting is this feature right here. So if I go to my warehouse and then I go over to settings, we have the custom appointment grid feature. This feature right here allows, when enabled, allows for you guys to determine what are the custom fields that you want to see on the tile of the appointment. So if I go in here, for example, I have a specific things. Pallet count is being shown right here. The carrier company is shown right here. If I add a tag to the appointment, and I'm going to add a ready for pickup, for example, and an urgent appointment. So if I add tags to the appointment, I have that set up in a way that tags are the first thing that I see. So they're going to be moved up to, the very first information that I see on the title of the appointment. Going back to the setting, let me select the warehouse and then settings, custom appointment grid. This is what I see. So I have reference number, tags, pallet count, load type name. You guys didn't see reference number because I didn't fill out reference number in any of those appointments that you saw on the grid. So tags is the first thing that we see when they're added, and then pallet count is the second thing that I see, and then the load type name, and so on and so forth. You guys can determine the fields that you want to hide because it's too much information to fit in a tile, or because it's not all that important, and the fields that you want to keep on the tile of the appointment. These are all active fields that opening up the appointment you guys are going to be able to see, or hovering over the appointment you guys are going to be able to see like this. So I have all of the information on the appointment, but tags, carrier company, pallet count, those are the main things for me in my facility. So I kind of organize them in a way where I can always see them on the tile of the appointment. Now, one thing to know about this as well is that I don't know if you guys noticed this, but right now, and let me go back to custom appointment grid setting, only what we call custom fields or the all appointment fields are going to be displayed in here for you guys to manage and configure. When I go to warehouses, fields and forms, there are two types of fields. All appointments, these are the ones that you guys are managing on that setting. The appointments per load type are not there yet to be managed. So you cannot really select, oh, if this field exists, I want for it to be the first thing that I see on a tile because we haven't covered that part of the feature yet, but it will be added very soon. So very soon, when you guys go over to warehouses and the custom grid configuration, you're going to be seeing all the fields, including the ones that are set on the load type level specifically. Another thing for you guys to know about the appointments per load type is right now it only covers load types that live on the warehouse level. So if I go, for example, to my organization, I could create load types. They're org level load types, meaning that they're load types used across all my warehouses, but they are set up on the org level. These are not covered by the load type specific fields. It will be soon though. But right now, the only load types that are covered are the ones that are created in here on the warehouse level. So these are the ones that I can configure specific load type level fields. Soon we're going to be covering for all of them, but let's say, for example, that you guys have a specific load type, you need a specific field that you're not requesting for any other load types. Make sure that they are warehouse level load type, or recreate this load type on the warehouse level so that you guys can apply this setting as well. Now, going back to the presentation, guys, and doing a quick sum up of everything that we've seen. Takeaways from it are the fields are really going to give you control over data collection. You guys have all the autonomy to be able to determine when they're going to be applicable, how they're going to be configured, what type of data you are collecting, and then using reportings, including our reporting tool, you can pull all that information from the appointment. They can be tailored to your facility's unique needs. So each facility can have their own set of fields on the load type level or for all the load types as a custom fields. Small changes can greatly improve your accuracy. That's another thing too. Make sure that you review from time to time your set of fields and all the information that you are collecting. Make sure that you see or that you use the carrier preview. And let me go back to that real quick to remind you guys of where there is. Preview scheduling portal. Review this from time to time to make sure that you are creating an easy and simple experience when carriers or schedulers are scheduling appointments. I have my instructions set up properly. When they go into book appointments, are the load types clear and easy for them to select? When they select the load types, what type and date and time, what type of fields are showing up for them? Do I need to break them down into specific load type fields? Is it going to make it easier for them? Is it going to make this list a little bit smaller for them to fill out? Am I collecting all the information that I need on the appointment? Those are the things that you guys can ask yourselves and review from time to time. They can change. The set of fields that you guys are collecting can change. And if ever you guys need to add more information to it, know that you can come in here and you can add more fields, remove or delete fields, and edit them out whenever it is that you guys want. So each facility has the autonomy to do that. Only admins can control this. So that's another question that's often asked or comes to us. Is I need this specific field or I need this specific information being captured on the appointment. Make sure that you talk to the admin of Opendock and ask them to add these fields because all the admins have, full ability to create, edit, delete the appointment fields. So I would recommend reviewing this internally if you guys need some fields are not used anymore or kind of useless. This information is really important and it's missing from the appointment. I would like to have it. You guys saw the kind of like amount of field types that of information that we can collect. We don't limit out that much the number of fields that you guys can be creating. So you can have as much information that you guys need belonging to the appointment and being collected on the appointment. Now, I'm going to shut up for a little bit because I know that I've been talking a lot. I don't have full visibility, and I'm going to go back to the presentation so that you guys can have the takeaways. I don't have visibility of what's coming through the chat. So, Tyler and Mar, if you guys see any questions or anything that I missed out and didn't talk about and probably should, you guys can let me know now.
Yeah, there's only been one question that I answered, so we're good.
Okay, perfect. Is there anything anyone else that's, here on the webinar wants to know a little bit more about? Wants for me to make sure that I mention? Any interesting things or anything that you guys are curious about? Maybe something that I missed while doing the presentation, but you guys still have questions around it? Feel free to add the questions in here on the chat or even send them out over email for us later on.
Okay, here's a question. Can I prevent a carrier from canceling their appointment and force them to contact me if they need to change or cancel their appointment?
Yes. So if I go over to, and this is, I'm gonna wing it a little bit, guys, because it's been a while since I set up this setting. But
Yeah, it's in the settings and then under
it's a lead
scheduling
time
portal, I believe.
scheduling portal.
Yeah, a little bit up. Keep going up. Yep, you're right there almost.
Am I? What do you?
It's right above time display.
Oh, there
There
it
you
is.
go.
No,
There you
it's
go.
actually not here. It's the lead time. I think it's either on the dock or load type level. So let me see. This is the one that I kind of wanted to doc selection, load type schedule. Is the lead time feature, Tyler, that I kind of wanted to.
Oh,
Oh,
for the
here it is.
modifying. Yeah. Okay.
So under docs, so warehouse docs, there is a setting here that you can set up on this dock specifically. It's called lead times, and it prevents carriers from scheduling an appointment within so many hours of the start time of the appointment, modifying an appointment, or changing data or information, including custom fields, um, within so many hours of the appointment start time, scheduling more than so many days in the future. So you guys can prevent carriers from doing all of these things. So scheduling an appointment, modifying, and by modifying it even includes canceling. They cannot change anything about the appointment within a certain time of the appointment start time. And you can customize this to however you guys want. So this would prevent the carriers from seeing, oh, I can't see this up top, but from seeing the options up top to reschedule the appointment or to edit the appointment or to cancel the appointment, exactly the amount of hours that you guys set up in here in this setting. Again, if you guys need to be set up this to be set up to your facility, just ask the admin of the Opendock account and they're gonna help you guys set this up. This is an admin only functionality.
And then Renee also asked, or she says, I am using the attachment feature, and when
Mm-hmm.
they cancel, the attachment is lost, but if they reschedule, it stays.
Interesting.
Okay.
So when they're canceling the appointment, you're losing whatever it is that they attach to the appointment, a custom field that has a document upload, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's what I gather.
Yeah. So this is
Yes.
something for us to investigate. It should not be happening. So I'll make sure to pass along the message to our team internally. This is, if it's happening to your facility, we'll check it out. It's a bug that we need to fix. Should not be happening.
Okay, then another question. When a carrier is rescheduling, can I set this to be requested instead of it being automatic?
Oh, that's a great question. Right now, you cannot, but this is something that we want to add. I'm really hoping that we can add this in the next couple of months. Is the setting for you guys to determine if you want to reschedule appointments to fall under requested or straight up to as a scheduled appointment.
Okay, and that's all we have so far.
Perfect. All right, guys. So as I mentioned before, the recording is going to be sent to you guys via email. But if you go to our webinars page, and then Mar and Tyler, if you guys want to share this on the chat, this
Yep.
is our webinars page where you guys can subscribe to all the upcoming webinars. The next one is going to be on managing docs, load types, and warehouse availability in September. And another one as well in September that we're going to have is your yard's new 24/7 AI security guard. So this is a new feature that we are delivering that adds a lot of value to gate management, and it's pretty much, um, cameras capturing all the arrivals to your facility without you having to do anything. You can collect all the, information on the trucks and to have a visual information on all the trucks that are arriving to the facility. Very, very cool. I highly recommend you guys participating to this webinar. If it's something that you guys are not all that interested in, it's still very good for you guys to participate and be here because this is a huge trend in the market. Lots and lots of facilities are now very concerned about security, cargo theft. So there's a lot to uncover here with AI security and cameras at the gate. Really recommend you guys participating on this webinar and the other upcoming ones that you guys see could be interesting to you guys. You just, go to this page, subscribe to the upcoming webinar so that you guys can receive the updates and a reminder that the webinar is about to happen. Thank you so much, folks. Don't hesitate to reach out to your AMs or even to us via email with your questions, your comments, your feedback. We're always super happy to receive those. Thank you, guys.